off another win, make sure that you have another dub up on the board and make things that much better for your seeding going into playoffs? Or is GameWard going to be able to respond, get a win they need at 6 and 8 right now? As they're going to go for a play, and if that tongue lash connects, that's likely a flash here from Montera, but they will be able to move in and take the ward. And then GameWard's kind of taking a page out of KC's book, saying, I know you guys like to go for the early invading, so now it's time for us. And how about this?
What?
Reckless, like, didn't see him, so Montera with the Lantern start will be able to save him, but I think Reckless was tunneled on the bot lane.
Yeah, and that kind of ruins your level 1 a little bit. Like, you know Lantern is started there for this Thresh, so you can't really threaten with the Flay early on. You don't have any early laning pressure anymore as a result there. So it is still a nice catch out, even though no summoners are blown because of that reason here. And it's looking like we just got the full split map coming through. They're committing to this part of the map. They're going to give Akabane that red buff. As you see Reckless, I think he's just going to go ahead and drop a ward, just to make sure the info is there, as I imagine 113 is going to be able to, or rather going to have to go for a cross map himself.
Have to be a little bit careful too. Akabane just coming down behind you, and you just used one of your wards there. I think they got Huntera, so I think there's no wards right now on KC's bot lane, making things a little bit scary. And yeah, GameWard's going to walk up like this. Absolutely, it's my jungler here. You have no idea. So the early punish coming down. Nice chunk coming out. The Lantern start is going to at least hurt them in the early levels here. But overall, it's GameWard that actually have the aggressive start this time around and will be able to start poking away.
Yeah, and you can see it because he got a better leash. Akabane got a better leash compared to 113. This is bottom side of the map. It's just already gone. And if Akabane really wants to, he could either go for the level 3 play or immediately run his way to that red buff just to deny the cross map here. Because of that vision defensively set by Melanik, they're going to have the information on 113 here. But I think the play with Akabane, to get that level 3, you could potentially set up a dive on Reckless and Huntera, who are level 1.
All right, let's see if they can do it. Akabane, great at setting up the dives on Volibear. Heal right away. The damage is in. CC connects. And now it's GameWard that will give KC a taste of their own medicine in the bot lane. There will be a hook that lands. Akabane, though, will be fine. Chameleus goes in, a little bit dicey, but everyone manages to walk it out.
Nice and clean from GameWard. Exactly what you expect when we see the split map come through here. And the thumbs up from Chameleus, because that is a successful play. You get the dive, you lose nobody's life and nobody's flash on your end here. So it's going to be Akabane. This is actually pretty brutal too, because 113 he pathed downwards because he's hoping, thinking like, okay, I have to stop this dive, I have to slow this Volibear down. But because of that risk, he can go for Scuttle. But can he do anything against Akabane in his own jungle? Maybe they catch him out, maybe they get this kill, but realistically still, so many camps lost, and maybe he only gets a Gromp. Akabane is so far ahead right now.
Scary position to be in, and well, we'll take another look here one more time as they set up the dive onto the bot lane, slow stacking the wave, and they just wait for Akabane to hit level 3.
It just doesn't get any easier than this, Austin. Level 1, you know Thresh has no CC available. There's no other way this plays out other than Reckless losing his life at level 1 here. So loses out on golden XP. You set him behind, as you love to see, and now the rest of K-Corp are trying to do something on Akabane.
All right. Aggressive play, a lot of damage. Flash comes out. Seiken gets there and doesn't have to use the flash to find the kill. That's also a blue buff here over to Seiken. So big. KC able to respond and get one back.
Yeah, it is a big deal now. At least you get some extra gold. Oh, you're right, baby.
Back and forth. Look at the wave. I mean, you can't lose this wave right here if you're GameWard. So they're forced to stay under tower. Flashes are up. Ignite and heal is down. Level 2 on Chameleus. Who sets up the engage? Who tanks first?
Melanik might TP.
Play goes wide. Here comes the TP. Big knock up there. Will land on the 113, but Chameleus has to flash away. So GameWard able to hold on to their life with the help of the TP here from Checolad.
Yeah, it's a big deal. He managed to slow it down there, and the wave's in a decent spot where not a lot of it is going to go to tower on Checolad's side, so he'll be able to walk away. Actually, it looks like it's slow pushing, but either way, you have to do something. You have to respond to that play, because as you say, if Inax and Chameleus lose that wave, this is a completely different situation for K-Corp and their bottom lane. So you do get it out. Taken, of course, does the same thing to TP back to the mid lane here, but the experience difference is going to show very soon with Taken likely hitting that level 6 first. So good answer back coming through from K-Corp. 113 might need to do a bit more still just because of the fact that Akabane now has still a decent farm lead on him, and at this point he can just rush to level 6 and make another play on the bot side.
Top lane, haven't seen a lot of it. Melanic loves playing these aggressive carries in the top side, showing us that he can carry on them. And more or less, we'll just have to kind of survive on the Graves and see if he can farm up. Become a late game threat, potentially, versus a Cabochard who's just going to be doing the exact same, trying to get through the laning phase. But 1-1-3 will be spotted out. Both junglers are going to be able to get a glimpse of each other here as they walk into each other's paths. That Scuttle Crab will be coming up very soon. Both are going to be hovering around the bot lane, and it's also going to be an Infernal first, and 1-1-3 is actually going to opt into starting it. He's got the first push here from Seiken. He'll be able to deal with this dragon fairly easily. Akabane nowhere nearby, and that should be a first Drake on the board for KC.
This is what I'm talking about, using your priority to secure yourself plays and objectives here. It starts with Seiken helping with the invade. It continues with that bottom lane we saw forcing Checolat's TP, and it continues with Dragon number 1 going over to KC. We talked about it, even though GameWard playing very well in these early minutes. K-Corp are the early game team we have here in the LFL. They showed it to us even after that botched level 1 play against LDLC last week, and they're looking to show it to us again, as even though they fall behind 1-1-3, the rest of this team are always finding openings.
Things coming down here for GameWard's bot lane, knowing that we could be in threat of a dive as the wave is shoving in. Both junglers again are here, but how about this? Level 6 first for 1-1-3.
Wow.
Akabane is going to go right to the red buff here. And
that might be
he's going to find a 1-1-3 that's also going to meet the bot lane potentially. Q goes out. Is he going to move in? No, he will not. So Akabane, sure, he gets the red. On the other end, Melanic, he wants to try to get the blue, but Cabochard will deny him the opportunity, and a lot of the mana was used there for Melanic, so we'll have a much harder time shoving this wave out.
Yeah, and Cabochard easily going to be able to ult back to lane if he really wants to, just to make sure that he doesn't lose out on that big wave that is coming up there. So you see a K-Corp again, not letting off the gas, continuing to try and make things happen. And as you say, 1-1-3 managing to pull ahead in XP, so now has access to that Dragon's Rage, and as he moves to the top side of the map here, could very easily look to make a play on Melanic, because as Graves, even though it is very good at the moment in terms of split and everything like that, you need that Hull Breaker to come through, and before that, you are a little vulnerable, you are susceptible to plays being made.
Ultimate used there for Cabochard. He's got a little bit more cooldown with the blue buff steal. And now we'll see everyone start to take some of the resets, get back out on the map, but that does mean that the Rift Herald is now going to be alive and active. Already some early vision going to be invested here in the top side, thanks to Checolad, just trying to get an idea of what the play might just be for KC. And well, that ward is going to work out perfectly. 1-1-3, he's on it, and Akabane, he can match, and he can get into the pit if he wants to.
And now Checolad actually has the shove. They can go ahead and move on if they as well, but look who's here. KC's bot lane moving much quicker. Even though they are sacrificing a little bit of gold and XP, they want to ensure this pickup for Karmine Corp. I think at this point, GameWard, you look for the fight after, or you just walk away, because realistically, you weren't going to be able to get that 50-50 anyway, and it's unfortunate, because the thing with Rift Herald too, some teams just opt to leave their bot lane bot, pick up some turret plates as a result, and that might have been the play, but even then they have Cabochard immediately like, hey, we're switching lanes, go bot, to see if you can make sure that even that doesn't happen. So K-Corp on the ball at every point in this game so far, and we're looking 9 minutes in, things are still dead even.
Yeah, the recovery has been incredible so far, making sure that they're still securing all the objectives despite the rough start. And now with the swap up into the top side here, Reckless is going to be able to get the shove out. They can look to move around, see if they can use this Rift Herald potentially in the mid lane, where Seiken has already been snowballing, bit of a CS lead, has that first kill under his belt. So a good situation to be in, but now we might get a swap back here. It's going to be interesting because the Dragon's coming up at a minute 50. I mean, if that is the case, and it looks like it is, this is just incredible macro play. And at the same time, GameWard, they're matching it, but they're always a step behind, and Inax even stays for one more wave, which means that his tempo slightly off here from Reckless's and Huntera's. This is just back and forth all over the map constantly here for KC.
You can see KC are leading the dance at the moment here, and GameWard are just along for the ride. Akabane manages to secure the scuttle. 1-1-3 is going to walk away, but you bring up the Rift Herald and that Dragon. That's going to be the big thing too, because Dragon, or rather the Rift Herald, will be available. 1-1-3 has that eye for quite a bit now. Can easily look to make that mid play there for Seiken if you want to, and try to secure one, some plate gold for one of your main carries, and two, that opening, that pathway for you to walk down for this Dragon that's going to come up, so you can continue to stack them here.
Cabochard, top lane under pressure. TP is available for him, but he can only go to a tower, and he wants to come out with some plates and help out with that. We'll come out with the plates. And nice trade here on Melanic, actually. He's showing, listen, I know this matchup. I might be a tank, but I'm also online with my hull breaker now. Going to be a lot more effective. And you're starting to see it right there. 1-1-3 setting up for a bot play. That's the hook. Chamelea's in quite a bit of trouble. Has to flash away. The kick is there, but it kind of kicks him to safety. So Chamelea's no longer under threat, gets the help of the heal. A lot of damage, however, does come down, and this could give priority over to the Dragon for KC.
That's a lot of ults blown there right before this Dragon fight. True, Chameleus loses out on a lot of health, has to recall, might have the opportunity to walk his way back, though, just because of the fact that we saw how that trade went through. 1-1-3, even though they have pressure on this pit, Akabane could look to go for a steal or something. Checolad, who's already on the move, is level 8, so those Qs, 5-point strike, is definitely costing a lot less energy, and she's going to be able to output a lot of that damage.
Oh, Cap Shard. Be a little bit careful here. Starting to get low on HP. Melanic is Graves, and play from KC is let's drop the Rift Herald in the mid lane. The Dragon, of course, alive and active. First one secured for Karmine Corp. GameWard want to get their hands on the second, but need to stop the Rift Herald play first. Here comes the play.
Oh,
that's the
nice.
JCC, but the Lantern still gets
Doesn't
Reckless
matter.
out to safety, but not to the point where Checolad can get on top of him for a double. Bot lane down for Karmine Corp, and that Dragon certainly going the way of GameWard.
And this is the dive that I was talking about. That core of Akabane, Checolad, and Chameleus immediately jumping on top of Reckless and Huntera. Means bye-bye 80 carry, bye-bye chance at your second Drake. So GameWard slow the Dragon stacking. They get some gold. Some pretty important members here, and I think he's dead.
Melanic about to get solo killed.
Yep.
Oh, he flashed after the fact, and Cabashard says thank you very much. And that's probably going to be a couple more plates here over to Cabo as well.
I mean, it's demolished. He might be able to take this turret pretty soon. I mean, look at that. Even with that wave coming through, he does get a lot of gold for himself. You're happy. Oh my god.
Shuffle's good. No ultimate for Checolad here. Tries to use the shuriken flip. Play does not connect. Hook does not connect. Ooh. But it's okay. The Dragon Rage into the Sonic Wave is good enough, and now they might be able to actually clean up this tower in the mid lane, or at least get it low.
Chameleus is going to be here to dissuade some of that, especially with this wave coming up. But yeah, a lot of plays gone over to K-Corp, especially Seiken, who you can start to see is coming up there in terms of damage share. Bodes very well for K-Corp, who are continuing to answer these plays and continuing to control the pace of the game. Comes from kills, the solos like Cabashard is getting, and also the fact that the activity doesn't stop. They always have a plan. They're always making something happen here, and you can see it show in the gold score and all the plays that they have been making here, despite GameWard's advantages.
Cabashard is just about completely taking over this top lane now. Melanic just has to survive in a matchup that I feel like a lot of people would think you'd be able to win with maybe the early pressure, but once you get levels, once you get all of this farm on a Scion, get all that additional health, and all of a sudden things get a lot more difficult here around that 13-14-minute mark. The wave clear is also there, and he's going to be able to slowly chip away here at some of the plates here and might be able to get this tower fairly low. Melanic just trying to hold on to what he can.
Pressure is certainly on. I think he would have finished.
It's all right. The play doesn't connect. Hook doesn't connect.
And
wow, but it's still 1-1-3 over the wall. That should be enough damage to finish off the kill. Yes, it is. And a big pickup here. Another one for 1-1-3.
That is a nice catch out. Chameleus, he dodges all the CC, but he can't dodge that Sonic Strike. So it is going to open up the kill. It's going to open up 1-1-3 to continue snagging camps away, keeping him actually, despite being down in farm, ahead in XP compared to Akabane. And what does that mean? He has pressure on this bottom lane here. It's going to allow Reckless to use the Chakrams to be able to threaten this bottom tier 1. It's constantly Akabane, like you said, getting pulled across the map here. Not able to try some of the things that he wants to try, but maybe now he gets a chance.
Oh, the shuriken flip doesn't connect. If the shuriken flip connects,
that's a different
maybe
story.
A kill. But Checolad goes a little wide, does invest the perfect execution. And now we'll no longer have the ultimate to help defend this mid lane tower. Going in 1-1-3, a little bit of damage, should finish off the tower. And that's going to be now another tower collected for KC.
You can see how Seiken is really starting to be a problem for GameWard here. They are going to have to use that dive that they have, that we saw them use to blow up Reckless, onto someone like Seiken as well.
That's the hook, that's the ultimate,
my
and
God.
that's a dead Melanic. He has not been able to move. Oh my. buy some time, but he's dead.
Yeah.
I was just like taking in the amount of CC that just got layered there.
What if that was you?
Summoner is disconnected.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That was a rough one to begin with, and just when you think you can answer back onto Seiken, of course, he is the Azir, still has the flash, still has the slide and glide, and K-Corp, they just keep on getting away with it. All of a sudden, we were talking about dead even just about a minute or two ago, and they're up 4K. Just like that. Inax trying to get whatever he can with this turret going down. It will be nice, the first one for GameWard, but you are falling behind here unless, and rather your win cons here for GameWard. It's shutting down Seiken and Reckless. You got to use that dive. You got to use that burst damage you have. Take them out of the picture, or don't even think about winning this game.
Oh, the gold lead. Just over 3,000 at 16 minutes. Feel like that's fairly typical for a lot of the K-Corp games that we typically see here. But remember, it is GameWard. They're the ones that need this win a lot more than KC do if you want to see playoffs. So starting to find successful plays, starting to use Chocolate a little bit more might be your window, might be your option at being able to pull off this win. But Chocolate is going to be under a little bit of trouble here. Does get played, so won't be able to fully clear out that wave. And now KC are here to respond as it's a bit of an ARAM for the time being, but that bot lane tower, someone's going to have to come deal with it. Reckless has got the wave shoved in. And on top of that, we also have the Dragon coming up now in about 30 seconds.
You can see K-Corp playing the map so well. Cowboy oh, wait a second.
Oh, the shuriken flip again. Doesn't connect. And the lantern is there. 113 can't find the kill, but that's fine because you should be able to grab the safeguard over the wall. Gets back to his teammates, and Hantero with that lantern is always there for Reckless.
Oh, man, that's twice now. Chocolate is one ability away from changing the tide of a lot of these fights. Again, this is what I mean. If you can get on top of Seiken and take him out, that's the play. He knows this. But without being able to secure it, it means it's going to be an easy Herald drop here, an easy Dragon secure for KC. I don't think they're going to be able to actually threaten the turret. It's just going to be the charge unless...
Oh, the shuffle is there. Inax is down. 113 takes the kill. Should be a second. The bot lane for GameWard is sent to the gray screen. As is the tier 2 picked up. KC, they'll find their window of opportunity, and they'll collapse for some more gold.
The slide and glide into Emperor's Divide. Seiken, this is just playing out of his mind here with that flash on top of it, but the angle's coming through.
Dawnbringer, shuriken flip will connect this time, and Chocolate does get one back. Seiken goes over the wall, and that likely means that Hantera will be collected, and a freebie picked up here as 4 kills now sit on Chocolate.
All right, that is something to be scared of if you're K-Corp. Suddenly this Akali is 4-1, building towards that Zhonya's Hourglass. So that stasis already with the stopwatch is going to be just yet another tool to kind of extend these dives and increase the danger when this Akali is in your backline here. That was without perfect execution.
Oh my, Chocolate, he's going rogue all over the map.
Oh,
113 with the kill. 113 hits it. What a play. Says, jump on me, will you? Finds the play, gets the kill, and shuts down the mid laner.
Man, Chocolate, he's trying to make these plays happen, but I think the perfect execution was just off of cooldown. And with that Gore Drinker, I don't think you have the burst to take down this Lee Sin. So it's a good answer back here, as though even though GameWard are making plays, they're finding their ways back in, but again, it's answers. They're always responding to what is being done here by Karmine Corp. GameWard are going to have to start getting a little more aggressive soon. They have the TP angle. I was about to highlight. Chocolate's on his way in.
Oh no. Melanic feeling fairly confident in the back with the Akali in play.
Oh, he's going here.
But he's looking for Reckless, and Reckless, he doesn't have a lantern this
time.
Yeah. That is a
See ya, buddy.
Felios. Reckless caught out again. Inax is the one that takes this one down.
It's a nice kill, it's a nice punish, and I like it because the TP threat means Melanic is already in a safe position here. They think, all right, this Akali's coming for us, maybe we should back off. She's very fed, but instead, he walks mid and ends up taking out Reckless despite the Gale Force, punishing the fact that he doesn't have flash. And now going forward, it's nice because GameWard, again, these little things that are going to get them back into the game here. It's not necessarily in the 5v5 just yet, unless as soon as these fights break out, they can focus people like Reckless and Seiken. But for now, with Reckless only just getting back on the map, you can take some time to start pushing out mid, pushing out top here, and it does mean that you can try and focus some vision around this Baron.
I like the Tiamat pick up here for Cabochard. Gives him a little more wave clear.
Oh my god, yeah.
Also just a tad bit more damage with all of that health that's slowly building. And and you should be able to get this tower potentially fairly soon. A lot of that pressure now shifting towards the top side of the map, however, as the Baron is alive and active, so some of the early vision being invested. But Cabochard is looking like more of a threat than Melanic here on the side lane at the moment, with the way that he's been able to just bully him out in a lot of these situations, contest the wave. Fairly good here so far, and he does have a pretty big bounty over his head here too.
He does, and it's been so much farm coming through here. Melanic, though, now with the Vamp Scepter coming through, building towards the shield bow, he's gonna have a little more sustain in this matchup, and I think if he goes for something like a Lord Dom's third, these matchups might be a little different. But for the moment, and for most of this game, Cabochard has been getting the better of him here, and having that reliable side lane is such a big deal. Even without the teleport, a champ like Sion can ult through the river, sprint his way to this team fight much sooner than Melanic, who will just have to do it the old-fashioned way. So for the moment, oh, what we got here? Oh.
All right, that's the kick. Akabane has to use the Dawnbringer, tries to get himself out. Hantera goes all the way
the stopwatch.
And we'll be able to buy a tad bit more time. Chameleons gets there, provides the shield, and makes sure his jungler will not be taken down.
That's what I'm talking about. Tahm Kench with the aggression and the defensive options here. That Devour saving Akabane's life is pretty much the reason why K-Corp can't go for an immediate 21-minute Baron here. So instead, they're just going to focus on pressure, and instead, they're just going to have this to make sure this top wave is pushed and just back right off here. We're about a minute till this next Drake, and that's what K-Corp have their eyes set on at this point. Not going to bother warding up Baron. As soon as they recall, you see it. Hantera's heading for this bottom side of the map. He knows he can do it alone because of where members of GameWard were last seen, and he's just going to set up vision and set up these potential brushes for K-Corp to play towards, because if GameWard face check into the wrong area, I mean, we've seen example after example of how dangerous that can be.
55 seconds away. Vision is down here for the Dragon. Third one, as you mentioned, could be picked up here for the side of Karmine Corp, putting themselves just in a better position. Lower ultimates here for a lot of these champions is extremely nice for the playmaking here for 113. Seiken even getting involved in a lot of the plays, and now that he has the Zanyas available, it makes it a lot easier for these shuffle plays to kind of pan out here for you, so that you can also keep yourself safe after popping the ultimate. But we'll see Melanic back all the way off. He knows that there's a couple members here in the river, so does not want to get caught out, and that means that Cabochard has the green light to start setting up a bit of a split push. This time, though, versus Checolad, as he gets to try his hand versus the Sion, who has a couple of levels on him.
Listen, Checolad, that doesn't work. I've tried that a million times into Sion. It's so hard, man, even with the fact that he just has a lot of health. Not even a whole lot of resistances, mostly indexed into armor. He knows that. He's trying to clear the way, back him off here. The thing is, though, Checolad not being here is kind of a problem, because he is one of the main assassination proponents that you're looking for if you want to go for this fight.
Cabochard getting a lot of work done with Hullbreaker right now. That's a tier 2 down. Checolad cannot match him, and that should be maybe a move for the Dragon here as well. Mid lane priority is good. We'll have to see what the play is for GameWard. They want to contest this. They do not want KC to get on Soul Point. But at this point, Melanic has had to now shift back up to the top lane. He has to swap with Checolad. It's just a massive movement across the map in case you're going to start up the Dragon again.
I think it's better. Cabochard's going to TP in. The curtain call's open.
Curtain call comes down with some damage. Dragon, 3k HP. Here comes the teleport now from Melanic. Checolad, I believe, did use the first charge of the perfect execution. 113 tries to go in, but he can't steal away the Dragon. Checolad, no ultimate, has to back up to his team. Cabochard at the front of it all, making it difficult for anyone to find any targets in the backline for GameWard, and now the engage is there. Akabane goes over the wall, should be able to get himself out. GameWard onto the run, will be able to escape until the shuffle from Seiken comes in. But can Inax get one back? No, the flash is good. Cabochard is in between everyone.
You're kidding me.
As he goes deep for the play. Should have some assistance here. Still walking himself out, and GameWard, I don't think they can kill him, and now Melanic's actually in some trouble.
I think he won't have to hold, or use the flash rather. Okay, yeah, he will with the decimating smash coming through. But ultimately, that was a tough call. Checolad is TPing, and I think they just want this.
All right, they're looking mid. 113 is a little low. No perfect execution here. 113 feels like he wants to take the fight, but needs to be a little bit careful. That's the kick. That's the Q.
Oh, he's going.
He wants to go.
What'd
He
I tell
goes
ya?
in. That's a stopwatch, and it's
Oh!
a bait. And an X says, thank you very much, and takes down 113.
Nicely played. A lot of gold into your 80 carry for GameWard's side, and that's a little bit too aggressive for 113. He thought with Seiken being there, it was enough for him to finish the kill. But now, no jungler means you can start moving in to set up vision on this top side of the map, and that's what GameWard are going to do here. Someone's going to have to deal with that bottom wave soon, but you have an angle. You have a window. Probably not to threaten this top tier 1 turret, but to at least do something. Try and set up some deep vision here. But instead, GameWard going for a lot of recalls. They're not actually trying to make it happen yet. Instead, they're going to send Melanic to the bottom lane. They're going to reset, get some gold, allow Inax to spend some of the shutdown money that he got for himself here, and he's getting real close to that 3-item mark.
Seiken needs to be a little careful. It's a pretty greedy path behind the pit. He does have his teammates on the other side of the red, but it was a collie just sitting there with the volley bear. So
Yeah.
You never know. But they just feel confident enough to move in. Double pink wards here will be able to gain themselves more than enough vision. As Melanic is just going to take away some of the camps here while everything breaks out on the top side. And now KC, they're going to start up the Baron.
Well, this one is risky. You see the curtains opened up. No teleports to blow. So with Checolad on the flank, he's the one to watch out for. 113 is low.
Well, 113 is fairly low. He also smited to get a little bit more health back. Shurkin Flip is in.
Okay.
But won't take the second charge. She will jump on top of Seiken. However, the kick, the chain CC is good. And now the mid laner is done and dusted for GameWard. Cabashard. Oh, he'll be able to sidestep the collateral damage. Reckless flashing over the wall. KC, they want the fight. But it's GameWard that are able to escape and retreat with their lives, as they're going to turn for the Baron here once again.
A beautiful shuffle from Seiken, honestly saving his own life and ending Checolad's. Oh, Inax.
Inax is dead. Hook connects onto Chameleus. Second player also dropping. As KC, they are farming kills. They are just toying with their food. And that should be the Baron secured here for KC, including some with all the kills that just came through.
And K-Corp keep coming out on top in these skirmishes, and they're going to continue to advance this gold lead with the Baron Nashor. That is going to be another 3,000 gold for this K-Corp squad, as they're going to be able to continue this lead going through. And we get a replay of how things turned out. Checolat, he had the flank, but because Cabashard is so good at playing interference, Akabane can't do anything. And Chameleus is still very far away because Akabane actually ends up falling. So it's easy for K-Corp to be able to go in and just deal with Checolad. And you see it. They just blow him, pop him like a balloon.
And then Cabashard sidestep right here. Deadly Flourish and collateral damage. That's beautifully done. And then KC, well, they're ready to commit. Good eat here from the Chameleus. Make sure that they're able to get out here at least for a tad bit longer. And then Inax is not expecting there to be a thresh in the brush.
Yeah, that's a really good play. Like, you know, GameWard are already falling so far behind and that they're likely going to try something here. And even with the low HP bars, you know you have the angle.
Hook and lands. Right back to live. That's the kick and the chain. CC is enough to take down Akabane. Jungler out of the game for 35 seconds. And that's going to give a lot of time for KC to start breaking the base, maybe even looking for the end. Cabashard rains down and will be able to set up the front line. Look how tanky he is. He is eating 2 towers. And now the re-engage here, as it will be Cabashard, who does get chunked out here again. 113 backs up to help out his buddy. And everyone looks like now they might start to back away and look towards bot lane.
It's going to be an easy dragon pickup coming through from K-Corp in about 10 seconds time. First Seiken, of course, is going to be able to commit to this. Checolad.
Big shuffle. Will be able to stop him. Nice Sonya's, and no kill comes through there. Perfect execution now also on cooldown as the Emperor's Divide keeps them away. A little bit of damage now. Back on to Cabashard. They finally will deal with them, as I think it's the 4th shot from Inax that takes down the tank and will also force out the Zanyas here from Checolad as well.
That's brutal. You could make a play in this 4v5 scenario. A lot of the problems in these team fights has been Cabashard and his gigantic HP bar, but ultimately it's not the soul. Maybe you don't want to go for this if you're GameWard. I think that probably would be the best because you don't even have Checolad with you right now unless he teleports.
Oh, that's the engage again. They'll take down Reckless. Collateral damage is good for the kill. 113 goes back over the wall. Akabane does not want to continue. Checolad, TPs for good measures, make sure there's no re-engage. And the drag at the end of the day does go over, but it's still a kill back over here for GameWard.
Any gold, any shutdowns you could pick up for yourself are the prize here for GameWard. And now, though, they have to recall because, of course, Supers moving into their base through the mid lane, through that inhibitor that was just taken down. And K-Corp still very much in control of this game here. Still have the Baron buff, albeit for another 15 seconds or so. And at this point, it can just commit many members to the side lane here.
1-3, doesn't hit that Q, but the Emperor's Divide stops him from getting into range. Such a scrappy game here. And in the end, it's going to be now 40 seconds without Checolad. You have the inhibitor exposed in the mid lane, and we'll see if KC decide to pull the trigger and try to break into the base here again while they have a 30-second death timer.
The attempt is there. Checolad has the damage, 2.5 item Macaulay, but they keep shutting him down with that Zhonya's that was forced out with the zombie passive from Cabochard. Do you think it's really going to come in handy here? Now, Cabochard, of course, going to escort this wave into the base, and with Checolad still out of the picture here, you can't realistically force anything unless you get a lot of vision on the members of K-Corp. Now, Seiken is potentially someone to go onto. However, he does have the Thresh who is there with him here with the Dark Passage, is allowing him to get out of the GameWard at this point. They need a pick. They need Akabane to try and lock somebody down. It can't be Checolad going in for these 1v1s anymore because it's been clearly shown that K-Corp have the tools to shut the Sakali down.
Take a look at the damage coming through.
Woo.
Cabochard is up there. How about that? 18K.
I don't like that.
18K damage. And
what?
He is continuing just to flex his muscles. I feel like he's got this Udyr playstyle right now.
Oh, don't say that.
I mean...
You're right, but don't say it. I don't want to think about that champion.
It's just, you know what I mean? He's just, He's just no fear. He's ready to go, contest everything.
He'll fight anything.
Lock himself out. I mean, he's got 5,200 health. Like, look at how many bars are in that health bar. Like, good luck.
Yeah. Checolad, I think he knows that. He's like, yeah, I'm not.
You can't touch him.
He's like, yeah, don't worry. These shuriken flips, though, they add up. That's what he's telling himself.
Good 50 of them and you'll get the job done.
Maybe.
All right, top lane, GameWard. Game is on the line. And they'll use the ultimate. We'll be able to chunk out a couple of the members. Seiken eats the fourth bullet. 1-1-3, trying to keep Checolad away from the back line here. He has found his way onto Reckless too many times. And that is basically his goal again. Find Seiken, find Reckless, take home a kill. Almost level 16 to make things a tad bit easier with the perfect execution. Bot lane, or rather top lane now, still under fire, but doing a good job of at least clearing out the minions and stopping them from moving in. And now Cabochard's like, I'm just going to tank up the tower, use my proc on it, trying to do a little bit more damage here. So good work overall for KC as they keep the pressure on.
That's got to be tilting. He just walks up, hits the demolish proc, walks away, and he's looking at him. He's healing. He's recovering that 53 whatever amount of HP that he has. He's just so beefy. And it's okay. It's partially okay because we talk about how GameWard want to bypass his front line. Problem is, they haven't been able to do so. The peel there from Seiken, that Emperor's Divide, has been so impactful.
Oh, Reckless is caught out again! Will they be able to find the kill? Yes, they can! And maybe it's a second. Checolad has the second charge of the perfect execution, but he doesn't really go over the wall. And the tower is still standing, but it's Inax that finds another. KC still have members alive, but they are not standing strong. GameWard certainly showing us that they can fight back.
Yeah, well put. This is hard because you still have the Baron to worry about here. It just came up, and actually, with Seiken, they have the opportunity to be able to just go ahead and take this if they want to, but instead they're actually just going to use it to get Seiken over the wall here. The big thing is Dragon, their soul coming up, and luckily for K-Corp, they will have Cabochard in time. It'll be a little close, but ultimately all GameWard have done for themselves here is given themselves that moment to breathe. We see examples of what this comp can really do, even from this deficit. And again, Reckless, Seiken, those are the targets. And I need to direct your attention, Austin, over to Seiken's item bar. See that? Have you noticed anything interesting? Yep.
I do notice something interesting. Is that a stasis that lasts for 5 seconds with that combination?
That's right. That is a stopwatch because he didn't use one originally when he purchased the Zhonya's, and he has the Zhonya's.
So 5 seconds of stasis. As Akabane has to use his, the kick comes out, but it more or less kicks him to safety. So that will be no flash at least on Akabane, but now Checolad, how about this? Sweeper in the back line. Hontera, I think spotted him.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. They're going to look to collapse, see if they can take him down the hook. Will it land? No, it will not. But is
they want him
out of the woods yet? Not quite. 113 can cut off the pathing. Inax now going to invest the ultimate. Checo Lad has closed the distance and is back to his team. Nice sidestep there as well. As Antera is now chunked dead a little bit, and the collateral damage rains down onto some of the carries here, making things just a tad bit more difficult to get back into that fight here. But KC, they're still relentless. They're still looking. Flash there from Camelius, has to dodge it on the onslaught. And now it's going to be the ultimate here from Seiken. Throws one back in. But everyone looks like they're going to be safe and sound. No kills come through, and the Dragon now still alive. Soul potentially here for KC.
I think you got to let this one go. I don't even think Akabane should go for the steal. He loses his life, then K-Corp walk it up to the Baron and can look to simply end the game. And it's unfortunate, but at least with Cloud Soul, it doesn't have that same tangible effect. Wait, they got a kill.
Checolad is coming in the backline here as well as Antera
they don't even know.
Checolad looking for an angle in, and they'll take down Reckless. As Reckless has not been able to survive and cannot deal with this Akali. Cabochard, however, has been able to deal with this Akali quite well. But will they be able to go back in on him? No, they will not. They'll back away. And now GameWard, they are rushing over to the Baron Nashor.
Yeah, I love this. GameWard, they play for the fight after. They let the Cloud Soul go. Checolad.
Oh, he's feeling himself right now. That Q, it's not timed to the point where he comes out of the stasis, but it does not matter. They will use the ultimates, and now TP's coming into the base. That Baron's down to about 4k HP. They should be able to secure it and get the Empower recalls back up here. But Cabochard, he's going to be able to take a tower.
Yeah, so it is going to be something traded. However, a big objective bounty picked up. The thing is, teleports are coming through. They might be able to get some picks here, but Seiken, he's on his own.
Seiken,
oh,
what a stopwatch here. Inax buys some time, but will it be enough? 113 into the mix. Camelius with the eat and a massive shield will keep him alive, but does not keep himself alive, as here comes the ultimate. Antera is here, and everyone backing away, as this has just been an incredible game beatdown with so much scrapping.
GameWard, they're trying to keep themselves in this. They know how important this is for the playoff dream to live on, so they're trying, clawing their way back into this game here. They have Baron buff on 3. They're going to be able to affect probably 2 lanes at a time because Melanik is one of the members who has it. That'll be important. Being able to push out this bottom wave with Elder coming out in 4 minutes, trying to get that wave as far out as they can, allow GameWard to control vision over that side of the map. That's the thing to worry about here, because we're still 5 minutes away from the Baron buff. That is not anyone's concern right now, and that's GameWard's way back into the game. As long as they don't take any unnecessary fights and get aced, as long as they just focus on the wave clear and only punish some egregious positioning, if any, from K-Corp. GameWard have the way back in, they just have to play for Elder.
Side lanes being set up, pushing through top now. K-Corp taking all of the vision. GameWard, they're in a position to respond if they decide to face check or walk up a little too far. And on top of that, they still have the Baron for a minute 15, so it's going to be pretty difficult to really set up a siege, break into the base. There are some inhibitors that are exposed, but this is more or less keeping GameWard trapped in their jungle, making it difficult for them to find an angle. But
Reckless.
How about this?
They got him again.
Caught out again. GameWard keep finding the 80 carry of KC, and that is a 50-second death timer.
Yeah, they aren't going to do a whole lot with it. There's another big chunk of gold in GameWard's pocket, and that numbers advantage here. But you got to be careful. Cabochard has the health of 2 people, but they're opening up the curtains, Austin. They want a little bit more.
Long range engage, a couple shots connects. Is it enough here to grab the tier 1 that's still standing in the mid lane? Yes, it is. Look at all of the standing gold on the map.
Wow.
Objective bounties are just coming in here for GameWard. And now Melanik, who still has 25 seconds on the Baron, might be able to try to pressure the tier 2.
I think he can, and this is a big deal, Austin. You look at the gold between these 2 teams. It's a 4,800, what would be a 5K power play, an insane comeback from GameWard, who need it so bad right now. And they're going to pick up yet another objective bounty. You got to imagine objective bounties switching off now, because GameWard, for the first time in this game, or at least since that 10-minute mark, have found themselves back into the lead.
Antera might have found a catch here onto Camelius. We'll be able to land the hook.
I think he's
Lantern is there. They can slow chase Camelius here. He has not a lot of movement speed, and they'll be able to find the kill here. Camelius nowhere to go. Will be taken down, and it's Cabochard that collects the kill.
It's a little unlucky. If you're a fan of GameWard, can breathe a little easy, though, because with that Baron play, with all the gold GameWard have been able to get for themselves here, they've been able to push out a lot of these waves. Top is pushed in. It'll be a while before K-Corp can actually make use of Chameleus's death timer, and the fact is, we're still a minute 30 from this dragon. You're going to have vision a little later than you might want to if you're GameWard, but they're still very much in this. As now, we're getting to this point in the game where almost everybody is full build, Austin. 70k per team. Gold doesn't matter as much anymore. It's just going to be about execution and focusing on these win cons and team fights that we've been highlighting. For GameWard, it's taking down people like Reckless and Seiken, catching them out like they have 8 times this game.
8 times.
That is, for Reckless, he is an 80 carry who is very, very low on death. People meme him KDA player and everything like that, and I kind of get it, but partially, he plays so very well in this regard, but for him to get punished like this is a big deal.
All right, TP play, Seiken
he
can't find the shuffle, and going right to the wall is Cabochard, as he's able to take the Lantern back to safety, but those are 2 ultimates that KC do not have access to for this Elder Dragon that's going to be spawning in 40 seconds.
This is a big deal, Austin. That Emperor's Divide was the one disengagement tool to prevent the all-in that GameWard are so focused on. That being unavailable for this fight means Reckless, Seiken are in that much more danger. Both have flashes or will have flash by the time this Dragon play starts. So it's going to be all about this vision game. You can see the pockets of darkness GameWard are looking for. And it's Checolad trying to play in darkness here again, trying to see if he can get the play.
Here we go. That's the curtain call, but not a lot comes from that one. KC trying to get something done through the mid lane as they'll try to contest the priority. Still no idea on where Checolad could potentially be. They'll now spot him out. Pink Ward's gonna hit him and he shuriken flips over the wall, but 1-1-3 wants to take him down. A lot of damage and the flash is forced out. Cabochard also on the wide chase here. Will be the perfect execution into shuriken flip, into Zanya's, into second perfect execution. And Checolad might have been able to get himself out, but 1-1-3 can continue to chase. Instead, now we look down to the bottom half of the fight, and this is a lot of damage onto the backline here for KC, but it's 1-1-3 that solo kills and takes out Checolad. GameWard now without a crucial member on their team. 5 versus 4, Elder is alive.
Here's the thing though, 1-1-3 is a little low on health if played right. K-Corp don't necessarily have this one in the bag. Akabane actually had a moment to catch him out, but they're going to go ahead and start off this dragon. We're 37 seconds away from Checolad. He has TP if GameWard can stall it out, but I don't think they're going to get the chance.
Cabochard on the flank.
Oh,
here it comes. In from behind. KC might have a chance to close it out now. Hook will not connect. Elder resets, and GameWard work themselves out of an awful position, but going back in, the kick there for 1-1-3, Melodic in a lot of trouble, into the chain, CC, 2 members will drop for GameWard, and KC finally get their opportunity to pounce, finally get their opportunity to set up the team fight win, as they can march into the base and look for their 10th win.
43 minutes, and GameWard trying to keep the playoff hopes alive, but they can't overcome the blue wall. That is Karmine Corp. Checolad, with his dying breath, tries to save the game, but we know it was a futile effort.
Last time it was sub 20 minutes. This time it goes the distance. GameWard make them work, but GameWard don't have enough in the tank to take the win, to find the juggernauts of the LFL. They can't do it, and KC will